disclose that information in any way, all of it needs to be destroyed now. But if you disclose it in any way, it's going to put me in a position where I will have to withdraw from the case. If you all choose to go on the internet and try to publicize this stuff, that's going to create real problems.
Okay.
You can't do it, is what I'm telling you. You cannot do it. I will have to move to withdraw from the case.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
All right.
So make sure everybody's aware of that. Okay?
This is not another boring podcast. Mustafa through the police body cam. Judge Carol Weimer, presiding judge. And of course, we can't forget about Brad Haywood, the defense attorney of the Mustafa. There was an FBI and Prince William County Police raid. They raided the hotel off of Dumfries Road for drug and sex trafficking. So that's all over the news. We're going to cover that. And we're going to ask the question, does that raid have anything to do with the Mustafa Aljazara case? What am I talking about? We're going to get to know who Dorothy, Mustafa's girlfriend, is. Mustafa met Dorothy. What was Dorothy doing? Where was Dorothy at? Dorothy was living at that hotel, was in and out of living in the hotel, was homeless, living in her van, so in and out of her vehicle, living in a hotel. What was Dorothy doing when Mustafa met her? Oh, that's right. Dorothy was prostituting herself. And what does Mustafa say? He says, I saved her from that life. Question is, all over the news today, they're talking about a multi-year investigation into that hotel, the prostitute. Now we circle back and we ask, what is going on in the Mustafa Aljazara case, and why is that case not moving forward? One of the things that's not letting this case move forward is the prosecutor did a cell phone dump on Dorothy's cell phone. Now, that's exculpatory evidence. Dorothy, at the time, had 3 cell phones. The police department did a cell phone dump on Dorothy's cell phones. Now, that's exculpatory evidence in the Mustafa Aljazara case, especially when you're accusing Mustafa that he hated his girlfriend. The first thing that you want to look at is the cell phone dump. But the prosecutor is blocking the cell phone dump from getting to Mustafa. Exculpatory evidence. You would think that's the first thing you want to look into, is the communication between Mustafa and Dorothy. It's been 3 years, and they're blocking the cell phone dump coming out of Dorothy's cell phone. The question is, and we're going to ask and find out, we're going to get to know Dorothy, is Dorothy's cell phone dump. We're going to get to know Dorothy, we're going to get to know Mustafa, we're going to get to know the details coming out of the FBI raiding the hotel off of Dumfries. It's going to be a nice podcast. It's going to be an interesting podcast.
If any of that is posted anywhere on the internet, we're going to have problems. Whatever copies have been made of that, those need to be destroyed.
Okay.
Okay? If they get disclosed, that is going to put me in a situation where I will have to withdraw from the case.
Okay.
If any of that is posted anywhere on the internet, we're going to have problems. Whatever copies have been made of that, those need to be destroyed.
Okay.
Okay? If they get disclosed, that is going to put me in a situation where I will have to withdraw from the case.
Okay.
If you disclose that information in any way, all of it needs to be destroyed now. But if you disclose it in any way, it's going to put me in a position where I will have to withdraw from the case. If you all choose to go on the internet and try to publicize this stuff, that's going to create real problems.
Okay.
You can't do it, is what I'm telling you. You cannot do it. I will have to move to withdraw from the case.
Okay. All right.
Okay?
All right.
So make sure everybody's aware of that, okay? If any of that is posted anywhere on the internet, we're going to have problems. Whatever copies have been made of that, those need to be destroyed.
Okay.
Okay? If they get disclosed, that is going to put me in a situation where I will have to withdraw from the case.
Okay.
If any of that is posted anywhere.
This is not another boring podcast. Mustafa through the police body cam. Judge Carol Weimer, defense attorney Brad Haywood, you are under the microscope. Now, I want to ask everybody that's joining us on other platforms, especially TikTok, find us on YouTube. We're live on YouTube under Not Another Boring Podcast. It's going to be a lot easier following us on YouTube. If you have another device, log into YouTube, go there. We're going to be playing a lot of videos, a lot of the exhibits, a lot of the body cams. So it's going to be a lot easier following us on YouTube if you have another device. In today's podcast, we're going to slow down the conversation and we're going to ask and we're going to get to know, who is Dorothy Fontaine? What was Dorothy Fontaine doing when Mustafa met her? How long is Mustafa's relationship with Dorothy? And what does that have to do? And why is the police department and the prosecutor office terrified that her cell phone dump are part of this case? We're going to ask the question, was Dorothy working for the police? What was Dorothy doing when Mustafa met her? Mustafa says, I saved Dorothy Fontaine from the life that she was living. What was Dorothy doing? Dorothy was prostituting herself. Dorothy was living in a hotel, in and out of hotels, was living homeless in her van. She had a 5-year-old, a 9-year-old, a 10-year-old, and a 14-year-old. And the 16-year-old daughter lived with her dad. She's separated by CPS. But with her, the 5, the 9, the 10, and the 14 lived with her. Question is, those children did not go to school. Where is CPS from children that are not going to school, instead are living homeless in a van? Where's the police from that situation? Dorothy Fontaine had 3 cell phones. The question is, what's a girl with all those kids walking around with 3 cell phones? There is a body cam that's in Mustafa's file from the ex-husband. He says that Dorothy did everything she wanted and the police wouldn't touch her. Literally drive without a driver license. Literally do whatever she wants. When the police show up, they would not do anything to Dorothy. They would just let her go. Now, recently, all over the news, they're telling us that the FBI has been watching the hotel off of Dumfries Road. And a couple of days ago, they raided that hotel. It's all over the news. The FBI and Prince William County Police Department, it's a multi-year investigation into that hotel, and they're investigating prostitution and drug trafficking. Now, when you the FBI and Prince William County Police, raid a hotel and you say you've been watching that hotel for multiple years, what information did you go on that you're conducting your information? What are you relying on? Obviously, you're relying on individuals on the inside. You have informants. And the question that we're going to ask, was Dorothy Fontaine a confidential informant? I mean, what is the difference between a rat, an informant, and a confidential informant? A confidential informant is you won't find paperwork on that person. What does that mean? They're protected by the police. We circle back and look at what is going on in the Mustafa Aljazara case. Why is the Mustafa Aljazara case not moving forward? I mean, when you take the whole case and put it under the microscope, the prosecution and the police department are telling you that Mustafa Aljazara drove into oncoming traffic on purpose. That he hates his girlfriend, he hates the children, and he killed his family on purpose. That's what they're telling you. Now, wouldn't you assume that you're going to let Mustafa have an independent expert to inspect the vehicle? By law, Mustafa have a right to inspect the vehicle. Instead, the prosecution and the police department are blocking Mustafa from inspecting the vehicle. That doesn't make any sense. By law, Mustafa can hire an independent expert specifically when the judge gave the order to inspect the car. But today, 3 years into it, we have a body cam where the prosecutor and the police are blocking and violating a judge order. So that's one reason the case is not moving forward. The second reason is that Mustafa has a dash camera inside his vehicle. And the police department is under a lot of heat because evidence that's coming out of what the police did, specifically Officer Chad Mason, is that he cut and muted this dash camera. Now, the dash camera and the SD card is in the possession of the police department.